And the JDL gets ready to march on Skokie. Details coming up next.
This is WNBC-TV, New York. NewsCenter 4 is brought to you by Barney's American House and International House.
Good evening, I'm Pia Lindstrom. On the rundown for NewsCenter 4 tonight, Richard Herron is found guilty of manslaughter in the claw-hammer slaying of Bonnie Garland. Israeli Prime Minister Begin's cabinet approves a plan to deal with the problem of occupied Arab lands. Searchers find more victims of a tornado disaster aboard a showboat. In tonight's health report, new mobility for people confined to wheelchairs. And in Robert Potts' New York, a moment of triumph for a high school boy in Yankee Stadium. The militant JDL lines up volunteers to march on the Nazis in Skokie. Dick Schaap will have tonight's sports highlights, and Joe Sheehan will have the 5-day forecast. And tonight's top story. Richard Herron was found guilty today, not of murder, but of first-degree manslaughter. That was the verdict returned by a White Plains jury after 4 days of deliberations. The search for victims of a tornado disaster on shipboard. That story in a moment. Wheelchair-bound people get around as never before. Pam Field tells why in tonight's health report, which is coming up in a moment.
Presenting Starship Encounters, the most spectacular sound and laser show in New York's history, featuring the full American Symphony Orchestra in concert, with special guest narrator William Shatner, Captain Kirk of Star Trek. Only Madison Square Garden is big enough for a show this overwhelming. 2 performances only, Saturday, June 24th at 2:30 and 8 p.m. Call 564-4400. Also, Ticketron and charge it.
7-1. Pia?
Thank you, Pam. Golf, baseball, and soccer are among tonight's sports highlights, along with, would you believe, arm wrestling. Dick Schaap will have it all in a moment. Still to come tonight on NewsCenter 4, a high school boy leads his baseball team to the city championship with a no-hitter. The Militant Jewish Defense League lines up volunteers to march on the Nazis in Skokie, and Joe Sheehan sees some uncomfortable weather coming up later this week. All that's still ahead, but first we have Dick Schaap, who's here tonight with the sports highlights. Dick.
Pia, the Yankees lost once, the Mets twice, and the Cosmos, of course, kept on winning. But the sport in the spotlight today was golf. A pair of tournaments, one in which a young unknown defied enormous pressure, and one in which a young woman made history. First, in the U.S. Open, Andy North had a seemingly comfortable 5-stroke lead with 5 holes to play when suddenly the runner-up, Dave Stockton, on the right of the split screen, rolled in this putt for a birdie on the 15th hole. A lively day in sports.
Thank you, Dick. We've got one more sports story tonight about a high school boy who pitches the no-hitter for the city championship. Bob Potts will have that story in a moment. In Robert Potts' New York, a Brooklyn boy with a strong pitching arm can lead his high school team into the city's championship at Yankee Stadium. Here's Robert Potts with what happened next.
If you're a high school baseball player,
watch me weekday mornings at 9 here on Channel 4.
Next Sunday, a group of American Nazis will be marching in Skokie, Illinois. Associated with a 5-day forecast next. 5-day forecast.
Do you believe that man gets paid for having all that fun? I'll tell you. Today is Father's Day, in case we forgot. Happy day, Dads.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you. We got a little plug in there. Our high 84 degrees today. It was a pretty nice day. 2:40 this afternoon. The sun came out on schedule. Right now we're down to 75 degrees. That's 24 degrees on the Celsius scale. Humidity 74%. Winds from the southeast at about 4 miles an hour. The barometric pressure 30.05 inches of mercury at sea level, and it's rising a bit. This satellite photograph shows a line of clouds just off the coast. That was the cloudiness this morning that kind of broke up and moved off. And we're still in a warm, humid situation. There's a large high-pressure ridge out in the middle of the Atlantic. We're on the back side of that high, and we've got a nice slow feed of warm, moist air. And it looks like we're liable to get locked into that situation for the better part of the week. There is a line of clouds you'll notice to the west of us. That's going to try and struggle through. It looks right now, according to most of the computer prognoses, it is not going to make it. And so the 5-day outlook looks this way. Very briefly, hazy, hot, and humid right through the week, with temperatures flirting into the mid to upper 80s. Going to be kind of close and sticky towards week's end, and could be a little bit smoggy around here by the end of the week. Tonight, we're going for partly cloudy, humid conditions. There is some fog already reported in the coastal areas, a low in the city of 67 degrees, and a little bit lower in the interior suburban areas. Tomorrow, here we go, hazy, hot, and humid, with a chance of showers late in the day or early evening. That could prevail right through the week, those late showers. The high, about 86 degrees tomorrow. That's it. P.S. Say good night.
Thank you. Good night. That's our news. NBC's Sunday Night Movie is next. Chuck Scarborough is going to be here tomorrow at 5, and Jack Cafferty and I will be here at 6. I'm Pia Lindstrom. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Happy Father's Day from